Nearly 9 out of 10 drivers go their entire lives without learning a single one of the tricks in this video. Some of them will save you real money at the shop. Others will change something you do every single day behind the wheel without even thinking about it. And a few of them, mechanics genuinely hope you never stumble onto. Here are 17 tricks you'll wish someone had shown you years ago. Let's start with trick number 17, the quarter tread test. You're due for new tires, but you're not actually sure if you need them yet, or if you've still got a few months left. Guessing wrong means either paying for tires early or driving on rubber that's more dangerous than you realize. Here's the test almost nobody does. Take a quarter and insert it upside down into the tread groove, with Washington's head pointing down into the tire. If the top of his head disappears into the tread, you've still got safe tread depth left. If you can see his entire head, your tread has worn down past the safe legal minimum, and it's time to replace them. Do this test at 3 different points around each tire, because tires often wear unevenly. Combine it with a habit of checking every time you fill up on gas, so it becomes automatic instead of something you remember once a year. A tire shop will run this exact same test and then quote you $600 to $900 for a full replacement set. The quarter costs you nothing, and it tells you the truth before a salesperson does. Trick number 16, toothpaste headlight restoration. Your headlights have gone cloudy and yellow, and at night your visibility feels noticeably worse than it used to, even though the bulbs themselves are fine. This is UV oxidation, building up on the plastic lens, not a bulb problem, and most drivers pay for a full headlight restoration kit without realizing there's something simpler sitting in their bathroom. Ordinary white toothpaste, the paste kind, not gel, contains mild abrasive particles that polish away the oxidized layer on plastic headlight covers. Squeeze a small amount onto a damp microfiber cloth or an old toothbrush. Rub it into the headlight lens in small circular motions for about 2 minutes per light. Rinse with water and wipe dry. You'll see the lens go from foggy yellow back to clear almost immediately. For lenses that are badly oxidized, repeat the process once more and finish with a coat of car wax to protect the surface from re-oxidizing as quickly. A professional headlight restoration service at a detail shop runs $50 to $90 per pair. A tube of toothpaste costs about $2 and treats both headlights with plenty left over. Trick number 15, hand sanitizer for frozen locks. It's a freezing morning, your key won't turn because the lock cylinder itself has frozen solid, and you're standing outside your own car with nowhere to go. Pouring hot water on it just refreezes into a worse problem seconds later. Here's what actually works. Alcohol-based hand sanitizer, the kind everyone already keeps in a bag or glove box, lowers the freezing point of the ice inside the lock and melts it in seconds without adding any new moisture. Squeeze a small amount of hand sanitizer directly onto your key. Insert the key slowly into the lock, letting the alcohol coat the internal mechanism as you go. Wiggle gently for 10 to 15 seconds. The ice inside melts almost instantly, and the lock turns freely. Keep a small travel-size bottle in your glove box, specifically for this, separate from the one you use for your hands, so it's always there when a cold snap hits. A locksmith emergency call-out for a frozen or jammed lock costs $75 to $150. A trial-size bottle of hand sanitizer costs about $1.50 and will bail you out for years. Trick number 14, the vinegar anti-frost spray. You wake up to a windshield completely sealed in a sheet of frost, and you spend 10 cold minutes scraping while the engine idles and burns gas for nothing. Here's the prevention trick that stops the frost from forming in the first place. A mixture of 2 parts white vinegar to 1 part water sprayed onto your windshield the night before prevents frost from bonding to the glass overnight. Vinegar has a lower freezing point than water, so the acidic solution interferes with ice crystal formation on the glass surface. Mix the solution in a spray bottle. Before you go to bed, spray it evenly across the entire windshield and let it air dry. Don't wipe it off. In the morning, any frost that did try to form wipes away with a single pass of a cloth or brushes off without any scraping at all. Reapply every few nights during a cold stretch for continuous protection. Commercial de-icing spray at an auto parts store runs $8 to $15 a bottle for the same basic chemistry. A bottle of white vinegar costs about $3 and treats your windshield for the entire winter. Trick number 13, the vinegar bowl. Odor fix. You buy a used car, or your own car sits closed up in the heat for a season, and it develops a musty, stale smell that clings to the upholstery no matter how many air fresheners you hang from the mirror. Air fresheners only mask a smell. Here's what actually pulls it out of the cabin. An open bowl of white vinegar, left inside a closed-up car overnight, absorbs musty and stale odors out of the air through the same molecular process used in professional odor-neutralizing treatments. Pour about a cup of white vinegar into a wide, shallow bowl. Place it on the floor of the back seat or the passenger footwell. Close all the windows and doors and leave the car sealed overnight. In the morning, remove the bowl and air the cabin out for 10 minutes with the doors open. The musty smell is noticeably reduced after a single treatment and gone completely after 2 or 3 nights in a row for a stubborn case. A professional ozone odor treatment at a detail shop costs $75 to $150 per session. A cup of vinegar costs a few cents. Trick number 12, shaving cream anti-fog windshield. You're driving in the rain with the heat on, and within minutes, your windshield fogs up from the inside, forcing you to crack a window or blast the defrost fan at full volume just to see the road. Here's the trick detailers use before a car goes up for sale. A thin layer of ordinary shaving cream, wiped onto the inside of the windshield and then buffed off with a dry cloth, leaves an invisible film that prevents fog from forming for weeks at a time. Shaving cream contains the same anti-fog surfactants used in expensive commercial glass treatments, just in a cheaper package. Spray a small amount of shaving cream onto a clean cloth. Wipe it across the entire interior windshield surface in a thin, even layer. Immediately buff it off with a second dry cloth until the glass looks completely clear, with no visible residue or streaks. The anti-fog effect lasts 2 to 4 weeks of normal driving before it needs to be reapplied. A bottle of dedicated anti-fog treatment at an auto parts store costs $10 to $18. A can of shaving cream you already own in the bathroom treats your windshield more than a dozen times. Trick number 11, baking soda battery terminal cleaner. You pop the hood one day and notice a chalky, greenish-white crust building up around your battery terminals. Left alone, this corrosion eats away at the connection until your car eventually struggles to start or won't start at all. Here's the fix that costs nothing. A paste made from baking soda and a small amount of water neutralizes the acidic corrosion on battery terminals on contact. Because baking soda is a base, and the corrosion is acidic buildup from battery gas. Mix baking soda with a few drops of water until it forms a thick paste. With the engine off, apply the paste directly onto the corroded terminals using an old toothbrush. You'll see it fizz slightly as it neutralizes the acid. Let it sit for a few minutes, then scrub gently and rinse with a small amount of clean water, keeping the water away from any other engine components. Dry thoroughly with a rag. A shop will charge $40 to $70 to clean and treat corroded terminals during a routine service. A box of baking soda costs about $1.50 and treats corrosion for the life of your car. Before we get into the last stretch, if this list has already been useful to you, hit that like button now. It genuinely helps this kind of video reach more drivers. Let's keep going. Trick number 10, the dish soap leak test. Your tire keeps losing pressure slowly over a couple of weeks, but you can't find a nail or any obvious damage, and you're not sure if it's a real leak or just normal seasonal pressure loss. Here's how to find a slow leak without a shop visit. A simple mixture of dish soap and water, sprayed generously over the tire and around the valve stem, makes even a pinhole leak visible within seconds as a stream of tiny bubbles. Mix a few tablespoons of dish soap into a spray bottle of water. Spray the solution thickly around the entire circumference of the tire, paying extra attention to the valve stem and the area where the tire meets the rim. Watch closely for a minute. Any point that's leaking air will start forming a small cluster of bubbles, showing you exactly where the problem is. If it's the valve stem, it's often a $5 fix. If it's a puncture in the tread, you now know exactly where to point the shop instead of paying for a full diagnostic. A tire shop leak diagnostic alone can run $20 to $40 before any repair is even done. A squirt of dish soap costs essentially nothing. Trick number 9, the pool noodle door guard. You pull into a tight garage every day, and no matter how careful you are, the door eventually taps the wall or a shelf, leaving small dings and scuffs along the edge of your car. Bodywork to fix accumulated door dings adds up fast. Here's the fix that takes 10 minutes to install once. A length of pool noodle, split open and mounted along the wall at door height, absorbs the impact completely and protects both the door and the wall from repeated contact. Cut a pool noodle to the length of your car door. Slice it open along one side so it opens like a hinge. Mount it to the garage wall at the exact height your door swings open to, using a few screws or strong adhesive strips through the noodle's open seam. Close the garage and open your car door normally to test the placement before finalizing it. The foam cushions any contact completely, so a light tap does zero damage instead of leaving a mark. A pool noodle from a dollar store costs about $2 and protects your car indefinitely. Paintless dent repair for a handful of door dings runs $150 to $300. Trick number 8, pencil graphite lock lubricant. Your key gets stiff or occasionally jams halfway into the ignition, especially in cold weather, and you're afraid one day it's simply going to stop turning altogether. Spraying oil-based lubricants into a lock actually makes this worse over time, because oil attracts dust and grit that gums up the internal pins. Here's what locksmiths actually use. Ordinary pencil graphite, scraped directly into the ignition slot, acts as a dry lubricant that coats the internal pins without attracting any dust or debris the way oil-based sprays do. Take a regular pencil and rub the graphite tip directly along the edges of your key, coating it lightly and evenly. Insert and remove the key from the ignition a few times to distribute the graphite dust into the internal mechanism. The stiffness noticeably loosens up within the first few insertions. Repeat every few months as routine maintenance, especially heading into winter. A locksmith service call to fix a sticking ignition cylinder costs $90 to $180. A pencil you already have in a drawer solves it in under a minute. Trick number 7, the baking soda moisture box. Your car sits parked for a few days at a time, and you start to notice a faint mildew smell building up, especially after a rainy stretch, even though you can't find any actual leak. Trapped humidity inside a closed cabin is often the real cause, not a leak at all. Here's the fix that gets ahead of it. An open box of baking soda, the same kind used in a refrigerator, placed under a seat or in the footwell, continuously pulls excess moisture and odor out of the cabin air over several weeks. Open a standard box of baking soda, the kind with the pour spout, and tuck it under the driver's or passenger's seat, where it won't tip over or get kicked. Leave it in place and don't touch it. Replace it with a fresh box every 1 to 2 months, or sooner if you notice the smell building back up. This is a slow, passive fix rather than an instant one, but it prevents the mildew smell from ever fully taking hold in the first place. A dehumidifier bag designed for cars costs $12 to $20 and does the exact same job. A box of baking soda costs about $1. Trick number 6, the pre-shutdown ACE dryout. You get in your car on a hot day, turn on the AC, and you're hit with a musty, damp smell coming straight out of the vents, even though the rest of the cabin smells fine. That smell is mold and bacteria growing on the evaporator coil inside your AC system, because the coil stays wet after every use. Here's the habit that prevents it from ever building up. Running your AC on its hottest setting for the last 2 to 3 minutes of every drive, right before you turn the engine off, dries out the evaporator coil completely, so mold has nothing damp left to grow on. For the last couple of minutes of your drive, switch the climate control from cold to hot, and switch the fan setting from recirculate to fresh air intake, keeping the fan running. This pushes warm, dry air through the system and evaporates any lingering condensation on the coil before you shut the engine off and the system sits stagnant. Make this a habit on every single drive, and the musty vent smell simply never has the moisture it needs to develop. A professional AC evaporator cleaning and antimicrobial treatment at a shop costs $100 to $180. This trick costs nothing and takes zero extra time, since you're already driving those last few minutes anyway. Trick number 5. Hairdryer sticker removal. You bought a used car with an old parking permit sticker, a faded decal, or leftover adhesive residue on the back window or bumper, and scraping at it with your fingernail just makes a mess without actually removing it. Here's the two-step combo that lifts it cleanly. A blast of heat from a hairdryer softens old adhesive, and a few drops of WD-40 afterward dissolves what's left without damaging paint or glass. Hold a hairdryer on its hottest setting, about 2 inches from the sticker, and heat it for 30 to 45 seconds, moving it slowly across the surface. While it's still warm, peel from one corner using a plastic edge, like an old gift card, rather than metal, which can scratch the surface. For any sticky residue left behind, spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a cloth and wipe it away. Then finish with soapy water to remove the oily film. A detail shop will charge $25 to $50 to remove stubborn stickers and adhesive without damage. A hairdryer you already own and a can of WD-40 handle it for free. Trick number 4, the soft broom snow trick. It snowed overnight, and the fastest tool within reach is an ice scraper, but scraping directly against cold paint and trim slowly introduces fine scratches over a winter's worth of use. Here's what professional detailers actually reach for. A soft bristled push broom or a foam car wash brush clears snow off the body and windshield just as fast as a scraper, without ever touching abrasive plastic or metal against your paint. Use the broom or foam brush to sweep the bulk of the snow off the hood, roof, and trunk first, working from the top down so you're not compacting snow onto areas you've already cleared. Once the bulk is off, use a plastic scraper only on the actual glass, never on painted panels, to clear any remaining ice on the windshield. Keep the broom in your trunk all winter so it's always within reach. A single deep scratch repair from careless scraping can cost $150 to $400, depending on the panel. A soft push broom costs about $15 and lasts for years of winters. Trick number 3, the fuel gauge arrow. You pull into a gas station you're unfamiliar with, maybe a rental car or a friend's car, and you're not sure which side the fuel door is on, so you either guess wrong and have to pull around again, or you get out and walk around the whole car to check. Here's the detail almost nobody notices until they're shown it. A small arrow next to the fuel pump icon on your dashboard fuel gauge points to exactly which side of the car your fuel door is on, and it's been standard on nearly every vehicle for over a decade. Glance at the fuel gauge icon on your dashboard, the small gas pump symbol next to the fuel level display. Look for a triangle or arrow built into that icon, pointing either left or right. That arrow tells you, with zero guesswork, which side to pull up on at the pump. Once you know to look for it, you'll never again pull up on the wrong side of a pump in an unfamiliar car. This costs nothing and takes about 2 seconds once you know it's there, which is exactly why it's one of the most commonly missed features on a modern dashboard. Trick number 2, the reverse mirror tilt. You're backing into a tight parking spot or trying to parallel park close to a curb, and your side mirrors show you the car next to you perfectly, but you can never quite tell where your own back tire actually is relative to the curb, so you either hit it or leave a huge gap out of caution. Here's the adjustment that fixes this permanently. Tilting your passenger side mirror slightly downward, specifically while reversing, gives you a direct view of the curb and your rear tire, instead of the wide traffic view the mirror is normally set for. Most side mirrors today have a memory or manual tilt function. When you shift into reverse, tilt the passenger mirror down just enough to bring the curb and your rear tire into view in the lower portion of the glass. Use that view to judge your distance from the curb precisely as you back in. Return the mirror to its normal upward position once you're parked and driving forward again. since the downward angle is only useful in reverse. Backing in parking sensors or a rear-view camera upgrade can cost $200 to $500 installed. This adjustment uses a mirror you already have and costs nothing. Trick number 1, the 5-minute weekly walk-around. Most drivers treat their car the same way every single day. Get in, start it, drive off, and deal with whatever comes up along the way. But the tricks in this video only actually pay off if a few of them become habits instead of things you did once and forgot. Here's the 5-minute weekly routine that ties everything together. Once a week, before your first drive of the day, walk a full circle around your car and check these things in order. Run the quarter test on each tire and glance at your tire pressure. Check your battery terminals for any new corrosion starting to form. Give your headlights a quick look for cloudiness building back up. Check under your seats that your moisture box or dryer sheet, whichever you're using, still has life left in it. Top off your windshield washer fluid if it's running low. Take 30 seconds to walk around the outside of the car and glance for anything new: a scuff, a low tire, a cracked light. After a few weeks, this becomes a 5-minute habit instead of a chore, and it's the single biggest reason some drivers go years without an unexpected repair bill, while others are constantly caught off guard. That's the difference between driving a car and actually maintaining one. If any of these saved you a headache or a trip to the shop, drop a comment with which trick you're trying first. And if you want more of these, the next video is right there waiting for you.